Yes, guys, how you all doing? The dust has settled for me now. Big up to everyone commented on the video I did Saturday night and for your replies, comments. Yeah, great stuff. And thank you for not abusing me, which unfortunately some have in recent weeks. And yeah, much respect to you guys having Spurs conversation without the nastiness. So I do appreciate everybody who watches, subscribes, comments, etc. Look, guys, disappointment after the weekend, opportunity missed for me. I just don't understand, why we can't win at home. We're able to win away. It just doesn't make sense, does it? Can anybody make sense of it? It's really hard to understand why Spurs can't win at home. And Frank, I do stand by this. Made some mistakes at the weekend by a few things. It was first of all the starting lineup. Dropping Wilson, not playing a doggy. What we saw earlier in the week against Copenhagen, that combination plays, the way the players were working together. Yeah, look, it may be small to some, um, but for me, I thought that was progress. And it just went out the window, didn't it? Saturday lunchtime. Frank threw it out the window, decided to play Spence there, which on the face of it looked like he was more worried about what Man United were going to do, where really it should be Spurs taking a game to Manchester United, not playing Wilson. And that combination was lost, and we struggled massively in that first half. Second half, obviously, the changes were made, which helped. So praise Frank for that. He did realise what he'd done. He did change it, and we did attack better in that second half. But again, not getting the points, which we desperately need. Um, Winning at home has just been so overdue. We haven't won at home since the beginning day of the season in the Premier League against Burnley. And I'm sorry, but any Spurs side should be able to win at home, whatever the quality of player we have, in my opinion. Fans may disagree, which is fine. You might not rate these players, but these players should be able to do more. They should be able to do more, I think. And look, so I'm kind of flipping this on its head now after thinking about it. I think that Spurs can do better than what we are seeing so far. And I do think and I do hope that Frank can find a way for Spurs to win at home, be more brave, take the game to the opposition. Look, you could say injuries are causing that, causing us not to be able to play better. Of course, I'm sure it has an impact, but it's the general way we set up, it's the tactics, it's not effective, it's not working. We're struggling to break teams down. Manchester United, I did not think played particularly well. And I think that was a missed opportunity to get the 3 points. And look, so the challenge from me to Frank and this team is, can we do better? Can we turn these home performances into wins? Because the away record is very good. Can Spurs pick up those points at home to keep up there in that league? And obviously, it's going to help with having some players back from injury. Obviously, the bad news about Mawani, which is why he came off the other day, because he broke his jaw. And yeah, it's not going well with him so far at Spurs. Seems a bit jinxed that he was out so long with a dead leg, and then he's barely got going after showing some good signs against Copenhagen. So look, I don't think Spurs, should rest on their laurels. They should push. There's more to be done. And I think there's an opportunity this season for Spurs to push up as high as possible in that league. Yes, many fans will continue to doubt their lack of quality in the squad. And yes, we do need better players long term. Of course we do. We lack certain players in this side, and you don't need me to tell you who they are. But if I look at this Premier League table, guys, if I look at this Premier League table after the weekend's results, I am there's so many inconsistent teams in this league right now, and we find ourselves in fifth position 18 points, 5 wins, 3 draws, and 3 losses, 19 goals scored, and 10 conceded. And I look across, and Sunderland, who are above us by 1 point, just promoted from the Championship, they are winning games at home. They are. Do they have a better squad than Spurs? No, they don't. So this is why I question that. If teams like Sunderland can win at home, Spurs should be able to win at home. And it's all about how Frank sets up the team. Um, and that's what's got to improve. It has to improve. You can't go through a season with not winning at home. However good your away record is, you've got to win your home games, and you've got to have the initiative to attack teams and to get results. Hopefully, we will see that. Yes, I know we've got a very tough run coming up till Christmas. It's going to be a challenge. We have lots of injuries, but we're up there. Yeah, something is working clearly. Yeah, something is working for us to be fifth in the league. And I look around, and I would say Arsenal, Manchester City. I can't see us catching them. They're just better than us. They are. Chelsea as well. I think they've just got a better squad on the whole. Manager's been there a bit longer. They're not perfect, but as they showed against us at our ground the previous weekend, that yeah, their system's working more than ours. They do have some really good players, and I just don't think we can get above them. Sunderland, of course, we can fight with the likes of Sunderland, Aston Villa, Manchester United, Liverpool are struggling, obviously at the moment, but I'm sure they will come good at some point. Um, Bournemouth, been very impressive this season, but have dropped points, got battered by Villa, so they're not perfect. Palace as well, dropping points at home to Brighton. And look at Brentford. They can win at home, can't they? So, you know, Spurs must be able to win at home. I'm sorry. I compare Spurs squads to many of these teams. And yes, there is questions over quality, but there is enough there. And we have seen improvements with the likes of Wilson in recent weeks. I don't rate, is scoring a couple of goals. And that was a fantastic finish against Manchester United at the weekend. So, people will say we don't have the players. Xavi is more than capable. Johnson, I don't rate his all-round game, but he can score goals. And look, I just think there's more to build on with these players. Yes, they're not perfect, but they should be doing better and creating more chances. And then it all points back to how the manager is setting up that team to do that. Um, I just think that Frank, if he can find a way, if he can find a solution, if he can really push the boys, and he can, and we can look at that table. As everyone else is inconsistent, can't we take advantage of other teams and be a bit more of a consistent side? Although in Frank's first season, people will question, well, you've got to give him time. Of course, you do have to give him time. But the challenge I put to Frank and his team is to push themselves to be better and to start winning them home games and building up those points. Guys, please leave your comments, drop us your thoughts, let me know what you think, and also smash the like button, subscribe if you're new here, and as always, come on, you Spurs.